on the last class now, aren't we?
Warrior.
So we're to Warrior, and we're starting off. Warrior has had some cool cards. Maybe.
Yeah, they've got a good mix actually. Some good cards, some absolutely crap cards.
But they've all had cool
and everything in
effects.
between.
No.
Yeah.
So we start off with the with Varian Rin. So it's another 10 mana legendary. So now we finally Deathwing. I'm sorry, you were up there before, but someone's come to join you.
And most critically, I think most critically about this card is now when you play Pyroblast in the Summoner Tavern Brawl, you don't know. There's 3 things you could get. It might not be Sea Giant or Deathwing. That completely changes the meta. Like, I didn't even know. I didn't even know what's going to happen. You got to watch out. That's pretty big. But this card is in all seriousness, no, this card is actually insane.
Yeah. So Varian Rin. Okay. So we're talking about a 10 mana 7/7. Draw 3 cards. Now, in fact, why don't we just forget the text right there for a moment? What we're seeing is a War Golem, 7 mana, 7/7, and 3 mana drawing 3 cards.
Yeah.
Like, a War Golem is meh, and 3 mana drawing 3 cards is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. So, like, think about the Shaman card we just saw, right? Or in one of the previous videos, which is a 2 mana overload 2, draw 2 cards, but you waste a card doing it. So you basically get 1 card advantage for 4 combined mana. This thing, you get a 7/7 body, definitely at least like a card, and then you get 3 additional cards for basically 3 to 4 mana, right? Like, that is completely ridiculous card draw.
Yeah.
And it has this effect. One thing obviously to compare it to is Ancient of Law, which is a 7 mana 5/5. Which is mostly used to draw 2 cards. And this card is, if it was just if it didn't have the end of the text, this card would be probably like about the same, maybe.
Yeah, I'd say it's a good card. If that was flat out, if it stopped at draw 3 cards, I'd say, yeah, that's.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It would still be a good card for sure.
But with the,
and I think,
yeah,
I think the deck that this probably fits into, like a Control Warrior deck, would definitely run something like Ancient of Law. This is the exact type of card that you want as that warrior deck. You don't care that it's in BGH range that much because you have loads of cards in your deck that are, so they only have 1 or 2 BGHs, so it doesn't really matter if they use it unless you're 7/7. And you want cards, and you have big minions that you might be able to get on the board. This card could really push Control Warrior.
Oh yeah, and then with the glorious test of if those cards are minions, they're put straight into the battlefield. So, I mean, wait,
yeah.
Inner Rage is 0 mana, right? I might be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you've got Inner Rage in hand. You play Varian Rin. You get Gromash, and maybe you get another minion. Maybe Shield Maiden flies out. Along with that, and some spell, like, I don't know, Execute. You can enrage your Gromash. So what you've done on 10 mana is you've played out.
You've won the game, Jay.
You've won the game.
You've won the game. You've won the game.
10 mana 7/7. One turn. You've gone from nothing on the board. A 7/7 body. A 5/5 body. An enraged Gromash with like what would it be? Like 12 damage? I can't remember. Yeah, 12 damage charged to your face. So you've got a 12/8 sitting there staring you down. And he's drawn another card in hand. Yeah. Wow.
It is possible to overstate this card because you do have to get to 10 mana. And a card on 10 mana does basically have to win you the game. On the other hand, this card probably will win you the game, right? So you have to be playing a really slow deck so you can actually get to 10 mana. Otherwise, it's a dead card in your hand. But it's super powerful. And the other thing is, normally when you draw cards, the big downside is you lose tempo on the board. But if you get even 1 crappy minion out from that drawing, you don't lose that much tempo. Yeah. Like you still have stuff they have to remove straight away.
A huge benefit because the disadvantage of drawing cards, as you said, is that you lose tempo. So that's generally the thing people associate with that. So like you're going to draw cards, that'll give you a card advantage, but you need to have a disadvantage in some way. So you're going to lose board presence. This one, you don't lose board presence most of the time. Even if you don't draw crappy stuff, you've still put a 7/7 on the board.
Yeah, if you only draw spells, like that's still fine. This isn't necessarily better than just a battle cry draw 3 cards, because sometimes you really need the battle cries. So if you're playing a deck that for some reason really relied on getting Alexstrasza and using it, then this could be a bad thing that you have to play it. If you're really relying on getting the shield made in armor, it could be a bad thing, but it's still better than not drawing it, obviously, because you can draw. When you draw a card, you can basically assume you're drawing from the bottom of your deck, and you can assume that unless you go through your whole deck, there was no problem with drawing that card. This card is insane. It will see play.
Yep.
In arena, it's not necessarily the best thing, but it's a very good card.
Yeah, because especially since arena's again so minion combat orientated.
Yeah. The problem is warriors struggle to get to the late game, so they need stuff that deals with a big board already, and they often tend to have low cost minions because they needed to survive the early game. So this card has lower value than it does in constructed by quite a considerable margin. It's still great though.
Yeah. So wow, I'm really hyped about this card. This is another one of those cards like that I just want. And this is actually really good. Like, I really want Mist Caller, for example, but that's maybe, like, we'll see how good that is. This is insane, and I really want it.
Yeah. I saw this card, and I just could not believe that it had actually been printed. This card looks so OP.
I would not be surprised if, in the future, this gets changed, if it lives up to the expectations we're hyping it up to be at the moment.
We'll see. I think it will probably work itself out. It won't be too ridiculous. Yeah. But we'll see.
Okay, so next we have the Flame Leviathan Mark II. So, it's a, maybe, I would question, I think it's better than the Flame Leviathan. I mean...
yeah, but Flame Leviathan saw no play.
Yeah, it saw no play. But, you know, Trump thought it would see a lot of play. He was very wrong about that. But
I mean, they actually look quite similar, but they're actually quite different, I think. Because when you play Flame Leviathan, you play it because you want to have a board clear, and you want to be good against aggro decks. When you play this card, given it doesn't attack their minions, you're not playing it as a board clear. So they look the same, but I think they're actually quite significantly different.
So yeah, for one, the key thing, this is Boulder Fist Ogre stats. Great. It can't be BGH'd. Great.
Yeah.
And Warrior, the enrage mechanic is a huge thing in Warrior, and this is only 1 damage, so this can really help.
All your acolytes, armor smiths, fluffing berserkers, etc. get value. Grim patrons, obviously, if you have them. The problem is sometimes you don't want your board to take 1 damage. Like sometimes it kills stuff that you want to live, or sometimes it means that you take unfavorable trades the next turn. And given that like you probably wouldn't just play a 6-mana 6/7. This effect has to actually be quite good, and also they know what cards you have in your hand. I don't think it's good enough.
Yeah, I don't.
It's a tool that Warrior has, but I don't think it's good enough.
Yeah, it maybe just doesn't get the. I think it's close, but it just doesn't get the cut for constructed. I think in Arena this is, it's a really good card because it's a 6-mana 6/7. It's Boulder Fist stats. Like, I mean, the 1 damage is going to be a bit random, and you don't know in whose favour that's going to work out. But I guess in any case, since you're the one drawing the card, you're going to be the one who has the initiative to be able to act first. So,
maybe. I think the 1 damage to your minions is pretty much almost a strict downside in Arena, but that's okay because like Boulder Fist Ogre is really, really good. So this isn't a bad card. This is an above average good card.
So next we have Magnetor Alpha. I don't think this card will last. It's 3 health, is shockingly weak. It can be removed by so many things. There's like Wrath, there's Winax, there's basically every 2-drop in the game.
Yeah. The big problem with this card
is
the time you but the point is the way you get value from this card is they have at least 3 stings on the board. You hit one of them, and you do damage the other 2. The problem is, if they have minions on the board, like, this card is not going to live. Because almost every minion that's going to be played, or that's still around on turn 4, has 3 health, or has 3 attack, or can kill this thing. Or combined, 2 of them can kill this thing. So, no.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. It's not going to see any play. I'd be surprised if it's even tried.
Yeah, people aren't going to play.
In Arena, this is poor as well because their health is just too low, and in Arena, 3/2s are significantly more prevalent than they are in Constructed.
Yeah.
Okay, so that leads us on to another subpar card. We have the King's Defender. So it's a 3-mana 3/2 weapon, and we already know Warrior has a 2-mana 3/2 weapon. So the text has to have something that is worthwhile.
One thing that tells us how good this card is when people first reviewed this card, some people thought it said for every minion with taunt, gain +1 durability, and they saw that, and they still thought the card was garbage. And I think Crip was saying, even if you have a board full of taunts and you get a 3-mana 3/9, this card isn't insane. But it's not a 3-mana 3/9. It's a 3-mana 3/2 that sometimes is a 3-mana 3/3. If you have a minion with taunt.
Yeah.
And you won't. And like what minion with taunt can you have on turn 2? Maybe the one we were about to see, Sparring Partner. But then, is there anything you want to give taunt on turn 2? I don't know. This card's not good enough.
Yeah, I think it's poor. I don't think it'll ever see any playing constructed like Fiery
Warrior
War
has so many good weapons.
Yeah, Fiery War and Death by fit either side of King's
Fiery
Defender.
War is much better than this card.
Yep.
Especially since you can play it eternally and kill small stuff before it gets big stuff.
In Arena, I think it's okay in Arena because it's a weapon, and sometimes you don't come across weapons, and it's better to have a King's Defender than no King's Defender and no Fiery War Axe.
Yeah, I actually agree. A 3-mana 3/2 is Eaglehorn Bow stats, and Eaglehorn Bow is actually okay in Arena.
Yeah.
Because you get card advantage if you can kill 2 things with this. I think it's okay in Arena. Good. About a little above average, maybe.
Yeah, I'd say it's a little above average in Arena as well. Okay, so that leads us on to Sparring Partner. I think this is a good card.
Yeah.
The obvious direct comparison is Sun Fury Protector. This is a 2-mana 3/2 taunt, and Battlecry give a minion taunt. And Sun Fury Protector is a 2-mana 2/3, Battlecry give adjacent minions taunt. They really seem to be pushing a more taunt-heavy warrior. That's definitely how if I was to look at the warrior in 2 ways, I definitely see warriors as a very tanky cast full of huge, large minions which are tough to get by, or as quite the enraged one, which is the one we see at the moment, basically. I think this is a really strong card because the chances are it's 2-mana 3/2, right? If they can deal with the 2 health, they can deal with the 3 health. That'll be the Sun Fury, and you can give a minion taunt. So the not always foreseen utility is if they have a taunt up protecting a minion of theirs. If you give that minion taunt, then you can deal with that without having to go through, say, their Belcher.
Yep.
Which can, in some instances, be extremely useful if that's say a big Inspire card there.
This card has actually interestingly combined with Black Knight quite well. I don't think that will be a thing just because people aren't running Black Knight at the moment, and there aren't that many good taunts that need to be killed. But it's quite cool that you can use this to kill your opponent's creatures. The key advantage this has over Sun Fury is a 2-mana 2/3 on an empty board is pretty bad. A 2-mana 3/2 taunt is pretty good because sometimes the opponent can't do anything. They might have to trade their minion in or not attack or something. That's good enough. And you get full value out of this card if you have 1 other minion, whereas Sun Fury you need to have 2 other minions. I think this card's pretty good.
Yeah.
In Arena and in Constructed. In Arena this card is good.
I think it's good. I think it's good in Arena and good in Constructed. I think people will definitely try it in Constructed.
Yeah. In Arena, a 2-mana 3/2 taunt would be good enough, but with that Battlecry it's even better. So.
Yeah.
The other thing, it's important to note that you have to use the Battlecry. Even if you don't want to give your opponent taunt and you have no minions of your own, you have to give something taunt.
But most of the time that's not a downside.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I guess that leads us on next to Alex Joss's champion. Now, this card is some insane value if you're holding a dragon. So we have a 2-mana 2/3. Like, flat stats, that's meh. And, like, it's okay in Arena. This can be a 2-mana 3/3, so already like, okay, those are good stats. And it has charge. I guess the direct comparison we have here is, why don't we consider Wolf Rider? That's a 3-mana 3/1 with charge. This has 2 more health, which and it's 1 less. Maybe not.
It's a really great card.
Yeah, it's really strong. And Warrior do one. I mean, it does run Alex Strauss, and so
yeah, Alex Strauss is not enough.
It needs more.
Because if you mulligan for this card, and if this card is your early game, then do you really keep Alex Strauss in your hand?
No.
No. So do you only play this card in the hope that after you've mulliganed, you end up with Alex Strauss?
No.
No. So you only play this card, I think, in a dragon deck. But the good thing is this card is just insane in a dragon deck. Like, it's a really great 2-drop.
It's definitely up there. It's one of the in Arena. This is a above average pick because a 2-mana 2/3 is okay. Like, that's average, and like there's a surprising amount of dragons which are good picks that you'd want to pick. Like,
yeah,
they're not few and far between. So it has the upside of sometimes if your draft went well, being a 2-mana 3/3 with charge, which is insanity.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up we have Bash. This is a cool card. So it's 3 mana, deal 3 damage, and gain 3 armor. So I think this is a really good card. I think it's definitely going to see some play. In a world where Frostbolt is a good card, it's 2 mana, deal 3 damage. This is one more. It doesn't freeze the character, but it also gains 3 armor, which has so much synergy with stuff like Shield Slam.
Yeah, I think it's actually like it's like an okay card, but it might be good enough for Warrior. Like, I think Dark Bomb, 2 mana, deal 3 damage, is maybe probably better. 1 mana for 3 armor, meh. I'm not sure I want that when I'm not able to synergize with it, like juicing them on the same turn. Frostbolt, 2 mana, deal 3 damage and freeze something, even better than Dark Bomb. Quick Shot, deal 3 damage and sometimes draw a card, like even better than Dark Bomb. All of these are really good cards, but none of them Warrior has access to. So maybe this is okay for Warrior, because one thing Warrior struggles with is they have their weapons, but sometimes you don't want to hit something, or sometimes you've hit something already this turn and you need to kill something else.
And Warrior don't have a...
And this card's good for that.
Do they have any direct damage? Like, just straight up, like, not counting Shield
Mortal Strike?
Mortal Strike, but that's a really iffy card, because...
Yeah. Well, it saw some play a while back, but yeah.
But that was before the card pool got filled with some of the really premium ones we have now.
This is true.
Okay, so...
In Arena, it's a good card.
Yeah, in Arena, there is
in Constructed, it might... I think it probably will see some play.
I think it'll be tried out, for sure. There's no doubt about that. In Arena, it's as you said, it's a good card. There are some bad spells you can pick instead, so... This seems like a decent one. It's direct damage as a Warrior. Like, great. But, again, we'll see.
Yeah.
Next, we have 2 cards. So we have the 3 mana 3/3 Grimmer Aspirant. So 3 mana 3/3 is fairly standard stats for a 3 mana card. So it's that most 3 mana cards are 3/3s or 4/3s. So I mean, we expect some text like Inspire. So it has Inspire. Give your weapon +1 attack. I don't think this card is good enough.
No. The problem, it's not, because you have to have a weapon already out. So think about the mana, right? You play this on turn 3, and it lives. Sometimes. Sometimes it dies straight away, so sometimes you have to play it on the same turn as you armor up if you want to actually get the value out of it. But let's assume it lives. Even then, you have to then play a weapon, have something you want to kill that needs you to have the extra attack, and then armor up on that turn.
I guess.
And sometimes you can't even do that. Sometimes you have to play the weapon the turn before, and then play this, and then armor up. And even then, like, it's not that great. I don't think this card's good enough. Even
the Dream isn't that good, because I'm thinking the Dream, turn 2 you fire your War Axe. Okay, turn 2 for them that can't do anything. Turn 3 you Grimmer Aspirant, right? They can no longer play their Spider Tang that they want to, so they're in a bit of an awkward spot. So they play something, then you armor up, and then you play the Sparring Partner. And then you give both taunt, and the following turn you bolster. But even still, I'm sure that board is not going to be hugely difficult to remove, and that's such a perfect lineup for something like that to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, in Arena it's fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's not great, but it's not.
You won't have that many weapons, but at least it's a 3 mana 3.
Yeah. And next up we have Bolster. So yes, they're really pushing Taunt, and I think they
Well,
can't.
well, I don't think Warrior Taunt deck is going to be a thing, because if we look back at what the new Taunt cards are that take actual benefit from Taunt, they are King's Defender, which if you run a Taunt deck for it, you get a 3-mana 3/3, which is not good enough.
Still shocking.
And they are Bolster. So essentially, the only incentive to play a Taunt deck is Bolster, and Bolster's not good enough.
Yeah, I mean, if you want you play something and you sparring partner with that and something, and then you bolster. But even still, is that
So 2 mana give something +2/+2 is not good enough,
no?
because Mark of the Wild is not good enough, and that gives Taunt. So you need to really get at least 2 minions for this, and I don't know. The thing is, yeah, Taunt minions often, the good ones are expensive. They cost a lot, so you normally don't play too many per turn. The ones that cost not very much are pretty crap. Also, they have Taunt, so you can't protect them behind a Taunt and then hope they live and then bolster them. So they tend to just keep dying because they're the ones taking the damage. So I don't think this card's going to do anything unconstructed. In Arena, it was described by Crip as the worst card in the game to get in Arena.
For Warrior, maybe.
Like, no, Crip said absolutely any other card in the game he would take above this card. Because if you don't have a Taunt minion on the board, this card is doing nothing.
No, I'd pick this over Demon Fuse, actually. Because that requires a demon, which is even harder to get. And even
not
if
necessarily in Warlock. Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Other situation cards like that, maybe. But I'm not even sure. This card is is never pick. Never pick category.
Yeah, that's in with Demon Fuse and never pick. So that concludes all the class cards.
Yes.
So I guess it's time to move on to the neutral cards. I'm gonna just cut it here and I'm not sure if we're done, but